Salutations. Ah, we just watched a dozen cutscenes. I have my door open right now so that Jasper can go outside when he needs to. Okay, he didn't hear me. So that he can go when he needs to. But that also means I'm going to have to be a little bit quiet. Because my brother's door is also open. And I don't want to interrupt whatever he's watching. I don't want to talk over it. I'm not going to be like this the whole time. This is how I'm prefacing. To compensate, I've turned the fan off and hopefully I don't die. I don't know, it's been on all day and it's pretty cool in here. Anyway. Let's talk to Rose about what happened. Last thing I need is to be she is like that. I love this about Rose. She's not someone who gets who really wallows. Not that she doesn't feel sad. We saw last time she feels very sad, but she doesn't wallow. Now we're going to Glavend. Gonna leave those where they are. Because I think after Glavend, so this is, you might remember last episode I was talking about something happening at Glavend that I didn't remember if it was now or later. Well, this is that. I kind of want to take, actually I don't want to take the long way, and I don't want to take the long way. Oh yeah, hold on, I'm using OBS. I was going to show, since we have Zavid, I mentioned a couple things. I'm still recording. This is good, I'm still recording. I know the audio has stopped, but that's fine. I mentioned that I liked Zavid's Berseria design better, so I thought I would pull it up. Whoa. Just pull it up for a second. This is his. Why am I picking up the game? Okay. Anyway, this is Zavid's. This is supposed to be transparent. It isn't. It's like my mouse. I didn't even click. My hands were up. You all saw that, and it just selected. Whoa! Now I alt tab. Anyway, I really love this Zavid design. The short hair is great. You can't really see it, but he has a half ponytail. It's great. The coat is great. Oh, my mouse is doing something. Hold on. I'm gonna remove Zavid. I'm gonna put this back in place. And I'm gonna double click there. It's probably because I have a controller plugged in. Okay, I'm back. Back in business. But yeah, I really like Zavid's design. I think he's a cool character. I was gonna say let's walk there, but I don't want to look at all of our BGs. We're full. I don't want to squander that fighting nobodies. So that is what it is. Using Zavid. Let's set his arts, because we didn't. It should be the same as Dezel, but just to be. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, there we go. Oh no, here we go. Oh, maybe it is. Good against dragons. Let's get. I like guard decay being on the left. That makes fine. I can put concentrate there. I can put wind lance here. Now, Vengeant Fangs, Hellgate. I can access both of these through Geostigma. Radiant Heat I can access through wind lance. But let's put Hellgate here just for the heck of it. I now have an ability. Oh, and let's sorry, one more thing here. Just want to look at his stats. He's got a high attack, low-ish art attack, low-ish focus. I really can't get her any. Like, I would love to actually have. The problem with this is that. So this would get rid of my ring. This would get rid of my boots. I could put a clothes here. But then. This comes from my. Yeah, I couldn't actually get all of those. As much as I really want to. And I do really want to. Ooh. Do I switch with Grim Color? I get a little less balanced, which I don't like. But I think that's worth it. I do want to be balanced with Rose, but I do like that. Can I get a better garment? I can get tankier. I can get slow resistance. That's really bad. I don't hate the pinion ring because it makes my focus go up. But I don't love it either. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're good where we are. Oh, she is no longer full. Well, that's okay.
So then, now what do we do?
I think we'd probably go towards the star on the map.
It looks like Heldalf wasn't in Glaven.
Indeed. Were he near us, we'd surely have felt the strength of his domain.
I guess we'll have to search somewhere else.
But we'll need at least some clue as to where he is.
Agreed. I hate wasting my time.
Hiding such a large amount of malevolence shouldn't exactly be an easy task.
Malevolence, huh? I remember feeling an unusually strong level of malevolence before.
When was that?
Right after we fought earlier. It was when we were heading back to Pendrago from the Guinevere Shrine.
So, maybe southwest of Pendrago?
Alright, let's check it out.
Yep.
You guys really gonna go on such a shot in the dark?
Sounds like it's worth a look.
I guess the
If this ends up being a waste of time, I swear I'll stab you.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, I skipped what Lila said. I didn't want to. They really like making us come to Glaven Basin and then sending us somewhere else. I don't like that. Like, Zavid could have just said, here's a lead while we were in Pendrago. Because that's the second time. And I know we go back to Glaven. I remember, yeah, I keep saying it. There is definitely a point where we go back to Glaven that I distinctly remember. So each time they send us back to Glaven, I'm like, yeah, here it is. I do remember this.
It's so strong.
Heldalf is here. There's no mistaking it.
The final showdown, huh?
Don't want to fight anybody. Because if I do, Soray's just going to use his mystic art. Look at that. I see you. Hi, bear. Boar. Not a bear. Not a bear. I know. Okay, before you go and comment, I know the difference between bears and boars. I do know. I promise I know the difference. So don't come yelling at me like I don't know the difference between a bear and a boar, one of which is Suscrofa and the other is Ursa. I don't know off the top of my head actually what the scientific name of, well, I guess it's gonna be different depending on what kind of bear it is. I wanted that chest held off.
Whoa, okay, yeah, he's freaky strong.
This won't go like last time.
I certainly hope that it won't.
What do you mean?
Do you think it's coincidence that you've encountered Hellion's domains at every turn? So what? This was all your doing? Is that what you want to say?
Is this your idea of being merciful?
Be on your guard, Saray.
Yeah, he's capable of anything.
So, how are we supposed to find out if this guy really did bind with Mautellus?
We'll just have to fight him head on.
You got a death wish?
If not that, then what?
I should swap the eyes that the Zavid's head eye patches on.
What's so damn funny?
You talk far too much. I am the Lord of Calamity, and thou art the shepherd. The meeting of the two is by definition conflict. Do you not?
I wouldn't say by definition.
Saray!
Here he comes, everyone.
I would say necessarily, perhaps. This doesn't look like Zavid.
Go on. Show me what a vessel you are.
I won't be pushed over that easily.
Oh, I forgot that line, ready for dirty dancing, when I cast that ability. Well, he's not taking a lot of damage. But we're also kind of kicking his butt, so... so we were kicking his butt. What if I just hold this?
We're definitely outclassed, but
Let's break this up a little bit. Walk to me. I don't specifically remember this fight. Or I do remember meeting Heldalf here. But I don't specifically remember. My Tales sense, having played many of these games, is that this is a scripted loss. So go in. Come, go inside. Go within. Good boy. That's why I had my door open, so I didn't have to get up, but I did have to pause, so I guess that didn't do that much good. Oh, here's what I'll do. Oh, this guy is getting absolutely gooned.
Hard to believe you're the same rosy-cheeked youth as before. We're making progress, but I got a bad feeling about this.
Wonder of wonders. I agree with you.
We've done 10k, and we haven't really expended hardly anything. Like, this feels... I'm pretty sure they're just gonna cut me off after... Yeah, stay right there for like 3 seconds. There we go. Okay, so not a scripted loss, but a scripted the fight's over.
Keep fighting like this, and you'll strike me down. Can't you feel it? Is that not what you truly wish inside?
What are you saying?
You yearn for it. You crave it. Would you drown in this fountain of ecstasy you have created?
Lila, it's time to settle this.
What's wrong? Saray, if you finish this here, can you be absolutely sure you will not regret it later?
That's right. Did we really come all this way just to smack old kitty beard around? Or was there something else?
As you know, to quell the Lord of Calamity is the duty of the shepherd. That is not incorrect.
Is he challenging us? Do it if we can?
No.
The bastard's up to something. Simone,
Yes.
dispose of them.
An illusory art.
Look out, everyone!
You're too late.
This is the beginning of what I think is a pretty good art for Saray, but it gets a little bit like, I don't know, fantasy hero mumbo jumbo-y.
You're finally putting some effort into it. How long do you think your malevolence can isolate him?
For one of his strength, probably only about 10 minutes. I apologize.
It will do.
What have you done, Heldalf?
Get ready.
Tiger Blade! Let's keep it up!
You think... I've played so much Street Fighter, Heldalf. You think I'm gonna fall for a counter?
Victory was close, yet now only anxiety and impending doom.
Saray, don't let your emotions waver. He's Lila.
Still you interfere?
Yeah, same story.
Miss Mioma! still missing the full picture. Is that what you're trying to say? At this rate, he's just going to keep needling me. I'm a plaything to him.
Saray, I understand.
You've got to help everyone.
I'm not getting away.
So what's happening? They're trying to establish this as a mental battle.
We just have to find a weak point.
We are, because we've completed the trials, we can now, you know, it's not that we can easily defeat him, but it's like, okay, we can step to him now, but we have to win the mental battle. Sorry, I did fall for that counter. I fell for the classic. He was going for someone else, but then he countered me while he was going for Lila, because it's a 360 counter.
Saray.
Do not resist.
No. I will never give up.
Do you not realize how warped it is to struggle so?
What?
Simone, release the squire.
At once. Ow! What on...
Prepare to see just what your resistance has earned you, shepherd.
No.
And that was his fatal mistake, wasn't it, Lila? Beth Mispioma!
Man, if this were like a cool action game, that would have been really cool.
You plan to slay her. A seraph.
Killing is my business. Or did you forget?
Oh, the eyebrows. The mask is so good. I'm like, not even joking.
Rose.
Repeat, you're...
Toying with you has lost its charm. Shepherd Saray, work under me. Should we not bring this world back to the way it was, together?
What?
Walking a path alongside the Lord of Calamity can only lead to malevolence. Surely you...
And what is so strange about that? Malevolence will always be with us. It can only be dispelled by the scant few who hold the power of purification. Are you saying that's the way things should be?
Hellions only bring pain to humans and seraphim alike.
And so it is therefore natural to resist malevolence? Absurd. Shepherd
I wish we could get another game that explores that.
Join me.
Like a
For too
prequel or
long
something.
Have the seraphim been forced to fight the malevolence? Too long have they been chained, toiling away at their blessings.
What if there were a game?
Let us restore them to their rightful form as Hellions.
I refuse.
Then let us finish our battle once and for all.
I refuse that as well. This is not the time.
So you say. But one day you will discover it for yourself, the true nature of humans and seraphim in this world.
Yeah. So...
No mistake. That bearded menace is connected to Maltellus. When we were trapped by his malevolence, I felt a presence.
But there wasn't even a trace of Maltellus back then.
Think about it. What if you were convinced you couldn't see something, but it was right under your nose?
It's something we see all the time and yet never notice.
Our nose.
The ground?
You mean the Hellion could be using the continent of Glenwood itself as a vessel?
Right. There's only one guy out there who'd be capable of pulling it off.
But if that's the case,
Even if all this is true, is it possible to purify the land itself? If Heldalf were the vessel, it would make a lot more sense. But if the Earth is the vessel, why would Maltellus also be connected to Heldalf?
Let's find Maltellus. If it's true that Heldalf is connected to Maltellus, who's become a Hellion using the Earth as a vessel, then so long as we don't purify Maltellus, we'll never be able to quell Heldalf.
but even with all the legends of Maltellus we've collected, there hasn't been a single clue as to his whereabouts.
We should search for Maven.
Old Man Maven?
That's right. He was journeying to study the legends surrounding Maltellus as well.
We don't have a clue, but he just might.
Yeah, but how are we supposed to find
You
him?
found him
I
before.
have an inkling. Let's go meet with the ones who protect the ruin of Logren and see what they think.
Logren's a cool place.
That's the ruin in Zefgot Moor, right?
Yes. Then it's been decided. Let's get packing, Lebo.
All right. Just stop that.
So, what's happened in like fantasy terms is, I think Zavid says something important
Are
here.
you okay with this?
I'll be quiet a
I
little
trust
longer.
him, though it is a gamble.
So, oh, put me right there, huh? Oh, gee, let's do this.
Hellions have high attack power.
Jeez. Can't do much while armatized, but I also can't survive long while not armatized. Don't. I should have switched her before we died. Because now she just lost her whole gauge. This sucks. I should have just run. It really kind of... Putting you right in the middle of a field of enemies immediately after a boss fight with a semi-scripted loss, when your HP is going to be super low, that's a decision.
Can't end here.
Yeah, like... are you joking? Well... let's see. I thought... I actually don't think I've ever lost a normal at least not in this playthrough. Have I lost a normal battle? So I thought it would give me the retry option. Like... But I guess... No, that's not true, because I guess the Code Red, or like the mini bosses, don't give you an option either. Anyway, that was like partially my fault for trying not to... Well, I can't go back there. I have to go to... Ogren. Oh, this sucks. I can skip a lot of it. I could also stop recording and do this later. Off screen to catch up. But hold on. I don't know, for some reason I thought I'd just be able to like retry that. So I was like, I won't use any items, I won't try to escape. And you can see where that got me.
So then, now what
But
do we
yeah, I was right next to an enemy immediately after that cutscene. I wasn't expecting.
do? It looked
While I'm catching up, we now have the power to like stand against Heldalf, right? We're strong enough. He's still strong. He still can kick our butts. But like we can compete, which we couldn't do before. However, we can't purify him. Let's cheat here a little bit. We can't purify him, which means
This domain, it's so strong.
Heldalf is here. There's no mistaking it.
Final showdown.
it means we can't really avoid killing him, which we don't want to do, and also would be really hard.
Heldalf.
So there's a mental game here. I said so the first time. I'm just gonna see what happens if we just die.
I won't be pushed over that.
I hate to do this. Because like I said, we are... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll just... I'll just use it. Why not? Because I know there are damage triggers, so... Oh, I can't dash because I have... I could just let myself die, I think, but...
I believe you're the same rosy-cheeked youth as before. We're making progress, but I get a bad feeling about this.
Wonder of wonders. I agree with you.
Might as well. They're cool to watch, at least. First damage trigger. Sorry, I'll just do this.
Get ready.
This is just like a wait 30 seconds or whatever. Anyway, there's a mental game here. The first time we saw Heldalf, and we're prompted to ask, hey, why didn't he just kill us? Because he could have just done that, like, easily. The answer to that question is Heldalf is not about killing. He's not like a murderer. He could kill any city he wants to. You know, he could wipe out the continent if he felt like that was his goal. But his goal is not. His goal is to create malevolence, which doesn't... Killing people indiscriminately does not malevolence. Does not lead to malevolence. What does create malevolence is, you know, maybe some people die in a way that the survivors feel not good about that. And also, just more broadly speaking, you know, he's after things like anxiety and fear and anger and all of that, more than he's after killing. And that goes double, if not more. It goes double for the shepherd. Because we're the symbol of all that's good in the world. And so for him, victory over us is not killing, it's making us malevolent. He wants Saray to succumb and to embrace malevolence in the world. So that's why he's not killing us. He's trying to bait us into anger, he's trying to make us feel despair, all of the above. Okay, this is cool. If nothing else, we got to see his scripted mystic art, which we didn't even live long enough to see before. It was all worth it. That only took like 7 minutes.
No mistake. That bearded menace is connected to Maltellus. When we were...
Anyway, yeah, like, we're right in it. With no HP. Excuse me. Look what we got, though. Deadly Rage. I don't think that's worth it. Let's grab this. Let's port. Let's just go back to Pendrago for a second. Then we can regroup. Anyway,
Why did she...
Rose, is the injury you got from him starting to hurt?
Oh, no, I'm totally fine. It's just really embarrassing for me to get hurt like that when being kept ransom.
No. What's really scary is that he would do such a thing without hesitation. And plus...
Simone's reaction.
Yes,
Her illusions are really something.
her skills are quite unusual, but there's something even stranger about her.
You mean how she isn't affected by malevolence?
Yes, or rather, how deeply she believes in him from the bottom of her heart.
But how could she? When she was shot, she was smiling. How could she trust him so?
Only she knows the answer.
But Simone has remained a seraph while following the will of Heldalf. That much is true.
So then what's really dangerous is how pure she actually is.
Pretty ironic.
Yeah.
it's like she's a foil for Rose. I don't know. I think Simone isn't quite explored enough to really qualify as a foil for Rose. Although, on the other hand, maybe she is explored indirectly through Rose. Oh, support towns. Is Zavi just the same? Yeah, he is. Windstepping's maxed. Norman is maxed. Treasure detection is almost maxed. I don't care. You can close the door if you want.
What?
You can close the door if you want.
Do you want to come in here or do you want to stay here?
I don't know what you're saying.
You want to come here? Midnight?
Significant level lead. Alright, good night. I won't go too much longer. Because it's pretty late. That's why my brother's going to bed. Let's walk. Yeah, anyway. If you were curious about why you know, on the one hand, I don't know. I don't feel like it's that like I don't think this game is particularly obscure or deep. Like it doesn't take too much thinking about to understand why things are the way they are, why Mount Talus spares us, etc. I won't say that that's anything like subtext. Like, it's not quite text in that they don't say Mount Talus is sparing us because he wants us to become Hellions, but like it gets pretty close to that, I guess. It's not far off. And also I've just thought about this game a lot and the message it tries to send. And I will say, for people who don't like this game, I do come from a lot of my love from this game. I did not play it when it first released because it originally released for PS3 and PS4.
So Ray,
Neither of which were consoles that I had. So I only got this when the PC port came out, which was around the same time. Well, I had already played Berseria because I played a bit of Berseria at my friend's house on his PS4. And then the PC port of Berseria came out around at the same time. And since I'd already played half of it with my friend, actually more than half of it with my friend, about 2/3 of it, I played the Berseria PC port before going back and doing Zestiria's PC port. So my opinion of this game is that of... I'm sorry, this bird is mesmerizing. It's gotta despawn, surely. Surely it's gotta despawn. Anyway, my perspective of this game... Ah, shit. Ah, well, balls. I know he said chicks dig rainbows, but I totally thought he said chicks dig himbos for a second. And as funny as that was, Zavid is not a himbo. That was not the attack I should have done. I don't think Miklio's alright. Does he seem alright? What if I flee? It's a dangerous encounter. I hate dangerous encounters. They're all... No, I'm not gonna flee. I'll just use items. Like it's a real game that I have to play. Oh, see, like that's the moment where scrap toss is terrible. You wife bottle me, please. Wife bottle, please. Crystal Tower is great. Anyway, I was saying something. Hey, can you handle those? They're really low. I guess I should do it. HP, what a joke. I got stunned for that and it didn't even hit him. Miklio. I was definitely saying something. And I got distracted.
Incredible knife handling. Do you have anything? I'm not hiding anything, I swear.
Got a new battle action though. Where? Not Reviver. Where? Is it just talking about Deadly Rage? Oh, because I earned Deadly Rage in a fight that didn't have a post-fight scene. So it tells me there, I think, is what just happened. How's his staff look? Actually very good. I lose out on a couple things, but... Do you have anything here? No, that makes that go away. Do you have anything here? Not. Oh god. Back to running. Back to running. So yeah, I would say... I remember what I was saying. Yes, so I played the prequel first, and then this game, which is out of order. It's out of order. Out of release order. And I do think that that Berseria, the prequel, was done in many ways to rectify the problems of this game. Or to complicate the complicate the things that are taken for granted, explore themes from a different perspective, that kind of thing. So to me, when I played Zestiria, I already felt like I had a solid grasp of the themes. How do these things catch me? Oh, you know what I didn't do is this. Oh, this was not Radiant Hit, it was Hellgate. That's what I didn't do. I cannot see what's happening. Thank you. So yeah, I have a feeling that a lot of the people who don't like this game, probably not the only people who don't like this game, but a lot of them just sort of played this game on release and felt like not much going on with this game, huh? It's just sort of, it underdevelops a lot of its themes. A lot of its themes aren't that deep to begin with. It does, I do think this game presents a pretty...
You're pretty strong, Zavid.
Well, you know what they say. You can never be too strong.
It's a pretty, like... I wouldn't say it's black and white, because a huge moral of this game is that it's not really, like... So if I make it, how can I do this? I don't even know if I can. There's no... Well, for starters, I'd probably put it here. Then like that. Then like that. Then readjust. Oh, those rotations. I give up. It's not that important. I'm actually just gonna remove it. I don't like how it looks. Although, did I just see... You know, when they said new, they just meant... Are you okay, I'm running. Sick of this. So my thought has been interrupted about 4 times now. But like, if you just played this game and you didn't have anything else besides this game, I can totally understand feeling that it's like that it's kind of bland. Like, again, I won't say black and white, but it's not gritty. That's what it isn't.
What's that?
It recognizes shades of gray. Crab time is coming. I will get to this. It recognizes shades of gray, but in an ultimately kind of optimistic and non-gritty way. It's not a gritty or edgy game at all. It's really not. It's a game that deals with some gritty topics, but sort of plasters over the grittiness a lot of the times, with Saray being kind of the ultimate pure person, literally. And I can see how, especially in this day and age, you can go through that story and just think, this is boring. And Berseria, which has a lot of well-deserved praise, is very much a gritty and edgy game. Very much. And it's hard for me not to think that that's intentional, like they're compensating. And so for me, you know, I played these games as a pair. I played this game fully knowing that all of the sort of the platitudes and the kind of the platitudes and the outlook, the unedgy outlook that it has, the ungritty outlook, can be looked at from a different direction and explored from a different angle. That is, from the angle of demons and hellions and people who aren't the shepherd, and so on and so forth. And I think that's, you know, maybe what I'm saying is that I attribute a lot of the reason I like this game is actually Tales of Berseria being good. Maybe that's it. Maybe Tales of Berseria is so good that it makes a bad game good. But I actually think that, like, you know, playing through this game, they knew. I don't think what happened is that the writers sucked and then realized they sucked and just decided to completely overcompensate and make Tales of Berseria, which rocked. Right? I don't think that's what happened. I think a lot of things were planned for this to be a sequel and a prequel, or an original and a prequel. And I think they quite intentionally, here's why. I think they quite intentionally made like a pretty straightforward worldview game and then an edgy subversion game. And there's evidence in the game itself, in Zestiria, which came out first. There is evidence that that they were already planning Berseria to a considerable extent. In both, there are both there's subtle evidence and unsubtle evidence. You know, Eisen's brother is not subtle evidence. That he is being built as a character. He is, for all intents and purposes, he's dead. right now. He's dead in this game. So every time they talk about him, they're not developing him as a character. They're developing an idea. They're developing a theme that is going to be explored in Berseria. And there are many more subtle ways that it's kind of predicted. But my main piece of evidence is just the Tales series. The Tales series constantly. This is like a spoiler for every Tales game that you've played or never played. The Tales series always does this. Is that they introduce you to the world, and you are watching the world through the lens of a person who exists in the world. And hey, the world might be a little shitty, but this is just how it is. And then often after the first act, sometimes as late as halfway through the game, the story writers pull the rug out from under you, and they say, yeah, this is how the world works, right? Well, here's why the world works this way. In fact, here's the people who made it work this way. I'm sorry. I do want to get to the crabs, and I'm sorry that I'm not saying, but this I think about this a lot. I'm gonna pull myself up for a second. When I shrink myself, Symphonia spoilers will be over. But as long as this is big, I'm gonna spoil Symphonia. So if you don't want to hear that, mute me until I shrink my camera back. So Tales of Symphonia, you start out, you're Lloyd Irving, and you're his friends, Genus and Colette. And Colette is the chosen one. And she is going to rejuvenate the world. And this is just the way it works. There's a church, there's a religion. The religion has an edict that the goddess is sleeping, and every generation or every number of generations or whatever, every time an oracle appears, this guy named Remiel, he's an angel. Every time this angel comes, light from the sky, a giant tower appears, like Dragon Ball Z tower that goes all the way up into space, basically. Every time this magic light comes from the sky and the tower appears, this is a sign that the chosen one must begin a journey to regenerate the world. And if the world is in decline, this journey will cause it to increase. It will reverse the cycle. And the whole first act of this game is largely, this is an adventure to regenerate the world. And it's not, it's foreshadowed that there's more going on, but that's basically that's the surface level plot. It's just that, I'm sorry, I look at this camera a lot so I can see myself talking, which is kind of weird. And I'm sure it's weird to watch because you're here. But I also don't like staring in the camera. And I don't like watching people stare in the camera. So maybe I'll look at Saray. That's maybe a little less weird. Anyway. The whole first act of this game is going on this regeneration journey, and there are signs that it's not so good for Colette. There are signs that, man, the world sucks, but it's largely under the guise of like, hey, this is how the world works. And then Act 1 ends, and it's like, oh yeah, the world works this way. It works this way because God made it this way, and God's name is Yggdrasil, or Yggdrasil. That's what they call him in the game. And he set up this system, and in fact there's another world, and they're constantly feeding off each other, and only one can flourish and the other must the other must decline. And so your world is not the only one. When you're declining, it's because the other is feeding off of you, and the regeneration flips it, and so on and so forth. And then basically the whole arc of the game is, this is how the world works. Act 2, here's why here's who did that. Act 3, here's how we can do something better, right? Here's how we don't have to be shackled to how the world works just because some asshole named Yggdrasil decided this is how it should work. And Symphonia is not the only example of this. Tales of the Abyss does it. Tales of Vesperia does it. I'm pretty sure Tales of Xillia does it, although I never finished it. I got pretty close, but I never finished it. It's more or less what Tales of Fantasia, the very first game, did. It's what Tales of Destiny did, kind of, also. Anyway, Zestiria doesn't really do that quite to the same extent. It never gets the rug swept out from under it that tells us, here's why the world works that way, here's who made it. And in every case, I'm going to shrink my camera because I'm done talking about Symphonia. I'll restate that, and then I'll wrap up. I'm sorry, I've really been ranting. In every case, the rug gets swapped out, and it says, someone made the world work this way. Someone is responsible for this system. And they made it according to solve a certain problem. So-and-so created this system of how the world works in response to a problem that existed in their lifetime. And then the third act of the game is usually, here are some alternate ways we can go about this. Here's a way where we can address the problem that God was striving to solve, without resorting to without putting in place the system that God put in place, which sucks. Zestiria never gets there, which is weird for a Tales game, but Berseria does. Berseria is that answer to it's the counterpoint to Zestiria's point. And so it's just a 2-game long Tales game, if that makes sense. And that's why I think it was all on purpose. Crab time. That's why I think it is a merit to Zestiria that Berseria is as good as it is.
Look at that! All the way up here, even.
Get back, Rose!
Crab rave.
What are you talking about?
That! The red creature, get away from me!
I
Seriously?
forgot about this. This is awesome.
Just nothing. Look! That monster has 8 legs!
As crabs do.
And big, fearsome pincer claw things.
Very crab-like.
And it's got a pointy shell, and the little ones are running around blowing bubbles, and...
Definitely a crab.
For real?
For real. They're fairly common creatures of the sea.
And for the record, they're delicious.
You mean to say that this thing is all over the ocean? Yeah, I had no idea. Ugh.
Seriously, your heads are full of the dumbest crap, and yet you've never heard of crabs?
Well, you might be the same if you lived your whole life in a mountain village.
I love that. That's such a fun skit. Return to crab. Return to crab. Okay. How long is this? Okay. I know this is running long because I ranted for 15 entire minutes. I know. Please forgive me. But I am going to get to the next area. Let's get to Zafgot more before ending the video. So yeah, I mean, the long and short of what I was trying to say is, having played the games together and especially having played Berseria first, I have an appreciation. I am actually so tired of this. Why do they catch up to me? And why is it always two of them? This area sucks. I'm gonna say it. It's not my fault. I'm not doing anything wrong. This area just sucks. I'm joking, by the way. It's my fault for trying to run past everything instead of playing the game as intended and fighting the enemies that are in my way. I'm also not healing in between battles. You know, I'm asking for this basically. Anyway, yeah, I have a feeling there's something over here. This might be a waste of time. I don't like this game in spite of how sort of happy-go-lucky, how... It's not happy-go-lucky, but... I don't know. I'm just going to use the word optimistic. No, I like ungritty the best. It's not a real word, but I think it captures what I'm trying to convey. It's ungritty. It's unsubversive. And I think when this game came out, and the subversion to this game still hadn't come out, this I'll fight. When this game came out, and the subversion hadn't come out yet, I think it was reasonable to understand that to understand its ungrittiness as a flaw, as though it's trying to tell an uncomplicated story. When I think that, I don't think that was the case. And I think there's substantial evidence that that's not the case. And that this is a part of a story that people had to wait a little while to complete. I didn't mean to use that move. Sorry, Rose. Sorry, Micleo. I'm gonna actually use a life bottle because I want Micleo to get XP here. I just tried to... I was literally mid-use of that item. And now I can't. Now I can't do it. Ugh, that's really annoying. That's annoying. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I realize I'm a hypocrite because I was just giving shit. No spoilers for me. But I just want, Loki's finale just happened. And I was just giving shit to Loki's finale for, rather than telling a complete and satisfying story, it simply set up for other things to be good at the expense of it itself being good. Like, the finale was just 30 minutes of exposition that will be paid off in a future movie, which, I don't know. for a finale, I think really sucks. However, I do at the same time like that this game was sort of building this veneer for Berseria to subvert. And I think this game becomes more complicated knowing which elements of this game get subverted and further explored. That's my defense of Zestiria. And that might sound like Zestiria is terrible without Berseria, and that might even be true. That's a world I never experienced. It might even be true. But I think likewise, Berseria without Zestiria is not a full story. And maybe that's not true, because I did play Berseria and liked it before I played Zestiria, but I appreciated Zestiria more than I did Berseria, if I'm being honest. Anyway, I've ranted far more than enough. Bye.